kind of what you want in terms of aggressiveness?
Chris, your shorthanded team battled right to the very end. What would you say was the difference in this one?
Well, we're always going to battle, so I'm proud of the guys for that. I mean, the difference was, they 2 threes by Jokic. Porter pops up, hits 8 in a row or whatever, 3 buckets in a row. I don't know what total. That was the difference. I mean, they got the momentum back, and then we were chasing the game from there. So.
And your third quarter defensively really strong. Was that what kind of got your momentum back?
Yeah, I mean, regardless of who we have or don't have, I thought we were looking for shortcuts defensively in the first half. Ball contained was poor, ball pressure was poor. We weren't fighting people enough. It's just kind of letting them go where they want to do, and kind of afraid to touch them. And ironically, when you're afraid to touch them, you get called for a lot of soft fouls as a result. And then we picked up the physicality in the second half, and it made all the difference in the world. So,
Chris, seeing Jaden go to the rim the way that he did, was that kind of what you want in terms of aggressiveness from him offensively?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to keep it clean, keep it simple. Just get downhill, use his length, use his finishing ability. He's got a great touch when he gets down there. Doesn't need to overcomplicate it off the bounce, It was good to see, really good. The silver lining for us is that he had a great game offensively, and he's been struggling to find that kind of touch and rhythm. So shot the ball well, shot with confidence, made big ones. Kind of got us started offensively, too, by being aggressive downhill. So.
Kyle gets into foul trouble early. Like, what did you see from Luka? It just seemed to battle as much as he could.
Yeah, I mean, Luka, played great in terms of, fighting. Kind of needed him to make a couple more open shots, but he got good looks. He took them with confidence. Just didn't go in for him tonight. So.
When you've got one offensive guy that everything seems kind of centered on, does it sometimes help to have a bunch of role players around him, I guess, who just seem comfortable just continuing to play the game even when he's going on like a heater or something? They just kind of seem to continue to do what they're doing and ready for the next possession.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think those guys understand. Actually, Ant's done a really good job of getting off it in the crowd, and those guys have really benefited from it. And I thought in the first half, we didn't really do a good job of that. Everybody, when you're down, with the bigs that we didn't have, offensively, it took us a while to find any kind of purpose, just because we're not used to playing with that many smalls. But yeah, I mean, I think our guys do a really good job of if anyone gets on a roll, but obviously with Ant in the position he's in, those guys are unaffected by anything. So,
what's the biggest growth you've seen in Ant? He's been in these positions before where he's had to be relied on to score a lot of points, but It just seems like he's approaching every possession with pretty good mentality.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's just understanding you don't have to hit a home run every time down. If certainly be aggressive, draw the crowd, make the right play, but I thought, and it doesn't matter. He didn't. I don't believe he scored in the fourth. That's probably on me. Maybe we could try to get the ball in his hands a little bit more. But we had some other decent looks, and guys, will normally step up and make those things. So that's what we've been preaching.
Chris, these Ant third quarters have, kind of regardless of what your roster complexion is for a game, that's been something that's happened throughout the season. What do you think kind of fuels that for him to have these 15-point third quarters?
I think just kind of recognizing how teams have been playing them, getting a little bit more comfortable with what's coming. Seeing some things maybe at halftime helps him. I'm not sure. You can ask him. And just I think we've been a pretty good third quarter team all year, and some of that is, while we're not the best transition team in terms of converting, in the open court, we do get into stuff, and he can get his pull-up game going and that kind of stuff. So we've had some good defensive third quarters this season. I think that's really kind of released some good offense too.
They had you double up on the boards in the first half. It seemed like you were getting rebounds with speed rather than size in that kind of fly-around mentality. Does that take a while to adjust to get?
Yeah, we needed to have more of a swarm mentality in the paint. There were times where they were bigger than we were, and I think we tried to box them one-on-one. In the first half, it didn't work. So in the second half, we just made the effort of multiple guys getting back in and putting bodies on. And, it's tough. It's tough when they're down there. Then they're big and strong. So, but the guys did a good job of, competing in the second half.
And then 28 points off turnovers is another kind of fly-around stat that you guys have. What do you give up when you are kind of playing that way, going for not gambling, but definitely playing that kind of fly-around stuff?
I mean, when you're in the position we were, I don't think you give up a whole lot. I mean, I think if you try to play toe-to-toe, you're probably not going to win that one. So you just got to try to. You can junk up the game with different defenses or trapping or whatever, but first and foremost, we just need to junk up the game with some physicality and some activity. I didn't see that in the first half. So,
talked a lot about early in the season, this team needs to be more mature, develop some toughness. At this point in the season, with a game like tonight, given the circumstances, is this team in a good place? Do you think mentally and toughness wise, as it kind of comes down the stretch of the season here?
I think so. I mean, we're tough. I don't doubt our toughness. Guys compete every single night. They compete no matter what the circumstances are. We expect to win. We come back, from deficit, root for each other. So I think we got all the makings of a tough team.
Jokic had just 2 assists tonight. How did you feel about your defensive rotations after doubling him in the post on some of his touches?
Good. I mean, once we were a little bit more aggressive with it, I thought in the first half we were kind of tentative. We don't do a lot of doubling, so naturally guys probably a little lag time on the recognition of it. And then they tried to repost a lot of it, and I thought we did a good job of standing that up. And guys executed that really well. Thought that was key.
Does it feel natural, do you think, for some of these guys to flip the switch back to 2021, 22 basketball when the personnel requires it?
You talking about like 2 on the ball, fly around, that kind of stuff? Yeah, I think so. I mean, guys, pretty comfortable at it. Some of it, it suits them, their length, their activity, their quickness. So, yeah. Yep.